John Lennon wrote Cry Baby Cry while he was in India with the rest of the Beatles, and the song has a playful nursery rhyme vibe to it. But, like a lot of Lennon's work, there's an underlying darkness that keeps it from being just a simple sing-along. He pulled some inspiration from old nursery rhymes, especially Sing a Song of Sixpence, but twisted it into something more eerie and mysterious. Funny thing is, Lennon wasn't all that impressed with the song himself. He said he got the initial idea from a TV ad with the line, "Cry baby cry, make your mother buy." He messed around with it on the piano but didn't take it too seriously. It was one of those things where he thought, well, if I feel like finishing it, I will. He finally did complete it while they were in India, but even after all that, he later called it a piece of rubbish. Pretty harsh, but Lennon was known for being overly critical of his own work. Regardless of how Lennon felt, the song ended up fitting right in with the vibe of the White Album. Kind of weird, kind of unsettling, but definitely memorable. The lyrics are odd and surreal, like a twisted fairy tale, and the descending chords add to that darker tone.
Marigold was in the kitchen, cooking breakfast.
It feels a little off-kilter, like something's not quite right under the surface. That's probably what makes it stand out. When the Beatles went into the studio to record Cry Baby Cry in July of 1968, the cracks in the band were already starting to show. Lennon had just split from his first wife Cynthia, and his relationship with Yoko Ono was creating some real tension. The sessions were tense too, with arguments and frustrations boiling over. Their longtime recording engineer Jeff Emmerich actually quit during one of the recording sessions, fed up with all the fighting. He recalled, "The expletives were really flying. I just wanted to leave right then and there." So yeah, the mood around the recording was pretty rough. Still, they managed to pull it together and get the song finished over a few sessions. The final version featured Lennon's vocals, some acoustic guitar, bass, organ, and drums. They added a few cool touches later on, like a harmonium and some percussion, and even gave the guitar at the beginning this trippy flanging effect that really sets the tone. The song ends up sounding more haunting than you'd expect from something based on a nursery rhyme. One thing that's kind of cool is how Cry Baby Cry is often paired with this little snippet from Paul McCartney called Can You Take Me Back, an off-the-cuff thing he recorded during the sessions for I Will. It's not officially part of Cry Baby Cry, but the way it follows immediately after gives it this spooky, unfinished feel. It's like an afterthought, but one that adds to the overall weirdness. Even though Lennon eventually wrote the song off, it's got a special place in the Beatles' catalog. It's one of those tracks where childhood innocence bumps up against something darker, reflecting the growing tension within the band. The White Album was already a pretty scattered, chaotic record, and Cry Baby Cry fits right into that mix of beauty and dissonance. Lennon may not have loved it, but it's a perfect snapshot of where the band was at during one of their most turbulent periods.